Childish Gambino, This Is America, can be viewed as another example of the violence this country sustains. Throughout the video, violence occurs in many forms, such as bullets to the back of the head, unpredicted church shooting, and bodies running from the violence. Throughout this video, only one police car is present. In The Blood Summer, in three parts, Abdurraqib describes a changing event of black churches that had begun to be burned out. The scene of Donald Glover shooting the church choir from the This Is America video directly relates to the article when Abdurraqib states, though the church holds ceremonies for our dead, no one goes to church to die. Basically, Abdurraqib is focusing on the idea of people getting killed in a sacred place, which is supposed to accompany the thoughts of peace, forgiveness, and love. When you grow up in an area, you don't recognize its faults as easily as someone who isn't as familiar with its roots. As Abdurraqib states and they speak loudest of you after you've gone. When you love a place, coming to terms with its lesser qualities and learning to apologize for them is commonplace. Basically, Abdurraqib is expressing the undeniable fact that people pay more attention to your accomplishments once you're gone than anyone while you're living. While living in an area accompanied with frequent violence displayed like a theater play, you don't stop to think about yourself. While the streets are filled with nonsense, it engulfs you with it. Children growing up nowadays are afraid of the police. My question is why? When did these children fear the group of people they are supposed to trust and rely on help in an emergency? As Abdurraqib states, in my first police stop growing up in the neighborhood I did, police were often present and yet I never learned to be afraid. In other words, he grew up in a time of trust when the people of all ages entrusted their local police for support and help. The world now has taught kids, especially, to fear police.
In the video "This Is America", it only shows one police car, yet there is countless violence being displayed. I believe this is just a representation of how we always create new trends in the nation to keep everyone entertained, so there isn't time to sit back and realize how many problems get swept under the rug. For example, in this video, Childish Gambino is the newest trend to distract us, the viewers, of the million other things happening in the video. The set, the setup, what? The set the video up to always have focus on him. I don't think that makes sense. So pretty much, it's just another way to like process what's in front of you rather than what's going on behind the scenes. And for an example, the first time I watched this video, I didn't even notice the horse or that there was um, at the end all the vehicles with their hazards on and the driver doors open as if they were all fighting from like being released.
And Abdurraqib, they will speak loudest of you after you've gone. He's basically saying how there's always going to be racism between white and black people. He says, I don't want my people to die in order to be loved or seen. What he's saying is that when a black person dies, it's talked about everywhere. It's all over the news, the internet, and it becomes known mostly by white people. He's saying that the only time racism goes away is when a black person dies. And it shouldn't be that way. In Childish Gambino's This Is America, there are many hints at racism, one of them being the ending scene where he's running away from a crowd of white people.
In the video "This Is America", it is important to understand the message of how the bodies are being handled compared to the guns. Every time a person was killed, the body would be dragged off without any empathy. Whenever a gun was used, it would be carefully placed in the hands of someone else on a red cloth. We can infer that the message that was trying to be sent was that guns in today's world seem to be treated with more care and value than actual human lives do. There were a countless number of messages portrayed in the video, including a scene where kids were recording the chaos below them on their cell phones while wearing medical masks. The message I took from this was that we as a society are very distracted when it comes to technology and social media. In the closing scene, Childish Gambino is shown running in fear with a crowd of people behind him following. According to the Times, Ramsey states, Gambino's sprint goes back to a long tradition of Black Americans having to run to save their lives.